All right, welcome. So this is a character that I made in Procreate. Let's jump into Nomad Sculpt and we will try to sculpt it. So if you want the image, you just go to my website, drugfreedave.com, and then scroll all the way to the bottom and you'll see the reference image down there. Okay, so let's change it from white to something else. So let's go to this little sun here, and you see we're on lit PBR. We're going to switch to matte cap, and I'm going to use Naki Clay. If you tap on it, you can use any of these. This one seems pretty easy. It's easier on the eyes as well. All right, so the first thing we want to do, or I guess the second thing, is bring in the reference image. So we'll tap this little image here. We'll bring in the reference image, tap here, import. I wonder if I can import the PNG. Oh, nice. Okay, so I'm going to close this. I'm going to hit transform and just make this a little bit bigger. Perfect. And I'll just tap again. So now we can start sculpting. So of course I only drew the front, the kind of front facing view. You can try to draw the side view or the profile, but I kind of just like to make it up as I go along. So this is the default sphere. It's huge, so I'm going to delete it. And then I'm going to add a new sphere. Okay, and by large I just meant the other one was like 98,000. This one's only 6,146, so the resolution's a lot smaller, and that's fine for now. One other thing to note, I'm using orthographic, so if you tap this little camera, I'm using orthographic, and I have the grid off. Here's the grid. We'll go ahead and turn that off. So this is going to be the head. I think this sphere is going to be the head. So let's go ahead and validate this. Anytime we bring in a new primitive, a primitive is one of these shapes. If you add one of these shapes, it's called a primitive. Anytime you add one, you're going to have to validate it in order to use all of the tools. So let's move the sphere up. And actually, let's bring the grid back and let's set up the floor. That way we can just have like a floor level. So let's add a box. And I'll just make it bigger and shrink it. Easy peasy. Sometimes I like to go in here and turn off smooth shading, just so it looks like a regular box. Okay, and that'll be the floor, so we'll just go to this box here. We can validate. We can tap the three dots, name, and we'll just do floor. Oops. And this will be the mask. So we'll change this to mask. And now we can really block all of the parts out. No matter what you're doing, it really all comes down to shapes. If you think of everything in shapes, it'll make your life a lot easier. Okay, so, the only thing that I'm thinking, I think this will be fine. So I'm going to squeeze this, since this is going to be a mask. I'll squeeze it like that. I think that'll be fine. And let's block out the rest of the body. Let's turn this ugly grid off. So we have, he kind of has a round torso, kind of has a round barrel of a body. So we'll add another sphere. We'll move it up. I'll go ahead and validate it. And I'll make it bigger. And we just want to kind of get the overall shapes of these things. I'll make it a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit wider here. Something like that. And I'm also paying attention to how much space we have below for the legs. So I might bring both of these up a little bit just to give us a little bit more space. We can always adjust the sizes of stuff later, but you know, it's nice to just kind of get everything set up as efficiently as possible as you go along. So this sphere would be the body, and Okay, so we have the mask, which is this. So really in my mind, I'm thinking about what he would look like on a profile view. It probably would have helped if I would have sketched it in order to sculpt it. But, personally for me, I like to sort of work through those things as I'm sculpting. So that's just part of my process. Like I could sketch it, I could spend the time to sketch it. But when I think about the profile, I can kind of just picture it in my head. So I don't really need to sketch it. I mean, it might be a little bit faster, I guess, on this end, but I'm still spending the time sketching. So I don't know. Okay, so if this is the mask, I feel as though his head would be a bit forward. And also, as you can see, this is the snap cube. So I'm looking at the left side. And you'll see me hit front a lot, so it goes to the front. All right, so that's the mask. This is the body. Let's take the move tool, and this is a lot of where just good old sculpting comes into play. So symmetry is on, so I know if I'm doing something on this side, it's gonna happen on the other side as well, like that. Okay, so he really doesn't have big shoulders, but I would imagine that the body is kind of round, kind of going towards the head. So I'm just using the move tool, and I'm just gonna drag this sort of towards the mask to try to give us like that kind of rounded shape like this. So I think that's good. I'm going to push this down, maybe push this up a little bit. Actually, maybe just flatten this. So this front part, I'm just going to flatten up a bit. Okay, so maybe something like that. So I'm also going to take the move tool, and now I'm going to look at this sort of shape here. So I'm going to pull this out a bit, make this a little smaller, like so. Maybe pull it out a little bit here, round that out. So I think that'll look nice as the body. It looks crazy now, but I'm just going off of these shapes. So for here, I'm going to use, well, I could use a sphere, but I think I'll use a cylinder. So let's tap the scene menu, add cylinder, because this shape looks more like a cylinder to me. And these are all going to be remeshed together. So the body parts are all going to be smooth and they'll be together eventually. So that almost looks exactly what I want it to look like. So when I'm thinking of anatomy, let's see. I think I want this to be forward, maybe up a little bit more. Yeah, I want that part to be forward. And here's his back. So let's kind of just give it a little smoother transition to this piece. I like that. I think that looks nice. I might have to squish everything together, but I think that looks good. So obviously we have these pecs here. There's lots of tools you can use to sort of manipulate the clay, but I find it easier just to add a sphere. We'll use our gizmo, we'll move it up, and then we'll use the blue arrow to move it forward. Oops. And now we can just use this as a, see, I lost the gizmo, so we'll just tap here. So right now we're dealing with one until I hit mirror. And then it's going to mirror it on the other side. And it's going to look slightly inappropriate, but that's okay. So now we have two of them, and if you look over here, you can see our mirror with our sphere in the mirror. See, it's still one sphere. It's just within a mirror. So it's mirroring everything on that side. I think it's the x-axis. If I was to mirror in a different axis, it might be like up here or like behind or something like that. The default is the X, so that's always going to be left and right. Not that you really care. Not that you really care. So this mirror, I'm going to adjust the name to be chest. And I'll just name this chest just to be thorough. So now all we're doing is looking at this shape here and plugging this in. So let's smush it this way. Let's make them a little wider like this. Maybe we'll take this and rotate them a little bit. Move them a little bit apart. Like so. I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to move them a little bit more in. And I think I want to see how the body, the curve of the body, the chest muscles aren't lining up. So let's just rotate them so they work a little bit better with the body shape. I think that looks great. Okay, I can probably make them a little wider. That's fine. And then I could rotate, there's two, I'm sort of torn. I can rotate them this way to sort of get the bottom to sort of poke out a little bit. And I think I want to, let's go ahead and validate. So we're just validating the sphere. We're not actually validating the whole mirror just yet. That can be sort of confusing, so don't worry about it. You still want the chest to be red and you want this white chest underneath. So let's use the move tool. So now we can still adjust one pec or one of the chest muscles. So let's just kind of pull them up and just pull it sort of into the body a little bit. Let's make it a little smaller. Again, we're just using the move tool to just sort of manipulate the chest, just so it's up a little higher. I think that looks great. Okay, so I think we can make our life a little easier by cloning this. So if we clone this, let's call this, we'll call this chest under. It's more like a rib cage kind of, but I don't know. In my younger days, I've always thought it was like just muscles. But I think it's actually, I guess there is kind of a muscle on top of those, on top of the ribs. Anyway, sorry, I get sidetracked. So now we can move, remember we are on the chest under. We can move that down and then we can just adjust this until it looks exactly how we want it to look. So it's not that complicated when you just break things down to shapes. Okay, I think I'm going to rotate this a little bit. Yeah. Looks nice. It seems like the bigger part, maybe I need to rotate it this way. And maybe stretch it a little bit more. I think that looks good. So these obviously connect. So what we'll do is let's hit move. And if we're using symmetry, it's going to be hard to join these together, like kind of mush them into each other. Let's see if I'm correct on that. Yeah, see? So let's turn off symmetry and we should be able to do it a lot easier. Perfect. So now we want to get this curve here. So let's just try to manipulate this. Let's see. Maybe if I make it a little bit smaller, I can just kind of push up. Let's take smooth. And let's smooth this out. And then take move and kind of move this down and over. Okay, I think that's pretty good. And what we'll do is we'll be able to smooth this out a little bit more later. But for now, I think it looks good. So let's take this chest and let's add another sphere. So it's going to be mirrored because we're adding it inside this mirror. So let's hit add. Sorry, my voice goes out on me sometimes. Let's add a sphere. And this will be ab 1. Okay, we can go ahead and validate it. So now let's just use our gizmo and we're going to move this into the place where the abs feel like they should go. So we'll just make it smaller, move it forward. Okay, once we move them to the left or the right, they should separate. Okay, let's see. Let's flatten it this way. And then let's make sure we're rotating so these kind of fit along with the body. I think that looks great. Right, let's pull these and maybe push them a little closer together so they look like how we want. Perfect. So that looks very close to what we have. That looks great. So now let's clone that, move it down. Okay, and maybe we'll make this one a little bit taller. Maybe we'll rotate it back a little bit. We can take move, and again, I'm going to turn symmetry off. It's still going to react symmetrically. It's just, I don't know, it's a little complicated to explain, but if you have something in a mirror and you turn the symmetry off, then it's easier to kind of push them together. Okay, that looks great. Now I only made 2 on this, didn't I? I guess that's fine. Now I could make some other little muscles here. I don't know if I should. I could make some muscles here too, but I should probably just keep it simple. But I'll show you in case you want to make more. Like I might just take these things. Let's just call these ribs. Sorry, hopefully you can't hear my AC that much. And you would do these little let's flatten it. There's all these little connector muscles, and it gets kind of it gets very complicated. I'm just gonna use move, turn symmetry on. They do get a bit complicated. I could clone these and then also have a bigger one down here for these connector muscles. And what happens is if you have all these connector muscles, you can obviously look at, look at some anatomy stuff if you really want to get it right. But for these little characters, I mean, they're just really for fun. I'm not too worried about getting things anatomically correct because this is not even like a human, or I don't know what it is. Okay, getting sidetracked again. So the muscles look fantastic. Let's sort of work on this little mask again. So let's move it up. It would be about here. And let's work on this shape. So let's use move tool. We have symmetry on because we want things to kind of match on both sides. So let's pull this down in the middle first. We'll put a little bit out there, and then we'll pull this up. Okay. I think that looks pretty close. What do you say? I think that looks pretty close. It might be a little big, so I'll just shrink it some. I want to take move, and this is just a style thing. I want to push on it a bit. I want to bring that part back. All right, so now it's nice and flat. I like it. I like it. So I kind of want to, let's use, how do I want to do this? Part of me actually wants to make it a bit thicker. I wonder if I can use Gizmo, and let's see what this does. If I just use Gizmo and stretch it. I think that could work for what I need. Okay, so let's say that works. So let's make a head behind, so like a head for this character, and it would be behind the mask. So let's just add a sphere, and that will just keep the spot for the head. I think I'll shrink it. Maybe I'll stretch it. And I'm just going to validate it, and then I'll just use move and just make it kind of form fit the mask a little bit. You know, we can always fart around with this later, but yeah, so I'll just kind of make a head sort of like that. I think that's fine. Okay, so I think I want to use drag. There are some things that I'm just going to do that I'm just going to experiment. It's a very important part. I'm going to go back to the mask. It's a very important part of creating, especially for me. I have to experiment with a lot of this stuff. So I'm using drag to drag the, I'll go back to move, to drag the helmet, not helmet, what is it? To drag the mask back. I don't know, just so like the mask isn't just like in the front, so it kind of goes over. I don't know, it's weird, but why not? And whenever I manipulate the clay, I like to call it clay. Whenever I manipulate it a lot, sometimes I'll just smooth it. So I think that looks pretty good. Okay, so let's do these arms. So these are obviously not realistic looking arms. He has like no shoulders, but that's okay. What do I want to use to do that? Let's use the tube tool. So you'll see the default over here, or at least my default. Yours might be different. I'm going to go to path instead. And everything else is fine. So I'll just tap down on the screen, drag the line to where the shoulder would be, and then just hit this green dot, and then we have our arm. So I think so when I think of a profile, I usually think about, so I'm thinking about I can't talk, I can't think. The anatomy of the arm. Let's hit snap, turn snap off, and I'm just going to move this back a little bit. And I think I'm going to touch and add another node here. And this is going to be the shoulder-ish area, so I think we want it right around there. I'm going to add another node here so I can bend this in. Oops. So I can bend that in a little bit better. Okay, let's make it big. And let's hit the radius twice. So then we can really start adjusting our arm. Let's make this small. Let's make this a little bit smaller. We'll bring this up. So it's sort of going into this curve. So it makes that nice curve there. Again, it's all about shapes. It's all about how things are looking. Okay, we'll make another one here. Another thing I'm paying attention to is how much space is here. So we kind of want to make sure that we match that. Let's move this over a little bit. Okay, let's make this one really big. I think that's it. I think that looks good. Right? I think that looks nice. Okay, I'm just taking a look at the size of everything just to kind of make sure everything looks like how it's supposed to look. I think that's pretty good. Okay, so since we're using the tube tool, let's tap on something else and then go back to the tube tool, back to path, and let's do the same thing to make a horn. So we'll tap on it, drag, and I'm actually going to, let's see, this curves. So let's see, so it curves. Oh, wait a minute, what's going on? Oh, there we go. So it curves a little bit there, curves a little bit here. So you can do it before you even make it a tube. Hit the green, Let me look. Oh, one thing that I noticed that the tube does is if you add another tube right after you've made, like right after I manipulated this arm, it tends to hold on to the last tube's properties, which isn't really that helpful. Let's see if I turn the radial off. It's not really helpful at all, actually. Okay, so we'll just bring this down. I could probably just start again, but I don't know, it's kind of annoying. Let's turn snap off. Get rid of that. I think we only need 4. So these are the horns. They're going to go in kind of the side of the head. Okay, so that looks pretty good. Okay. Boom, that looks nice. That looks pretty good. The only difference is this one is like kind of straight. I'm looking at the... I really want to make it match. It doesn't really make that big of a difference, but I do pride myself on making things match a little bit. I'm going to open this up so this is a little bit more round here at the end. When I wind up smoothing it, I want it to be a little bit more round versus being really sharp. Whoops. So I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to use the gizmo. You see the gizmo. Oh, let's hit pivot, auto pivot. Okay, so what we need to do is somehow I kind of want to bake this. So this is where things get a little bit complicated. You notice how the gizmo is just not really useful right now. There's a few things you can do. We could bake this horn, which would make its shape and its orientation. It would change that to being the default for this shape. So that might be a little complicated, but that would allow us to move it around easier. There's another thing we can do. We can hit align. So now we're still moving this shape around, but we have the gizmo aligned with the project instead of the shape. So that's why it just looks like smooth right now. I can move it left and right. Makes it a lot easier. So it really the gizmo has no connection to the shape. It's just kind of normal, but that's fine. So I'm trying to see, it looks like this is rotated out a bit more on the drawing. Down a bit more. Ah, but you see how it's like, it's not, I think it's like that. Let's make it a bit smaller. But I think it is right about there, maybe up a little bit. That feels right. So let's go back to the tube settings by tapping that little squiggle. And now we can adjust this if we need. So I might add another node here and just drag that one in. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. So this we can actually, let's tap these 3 dots. The post subdivision, let's put that to 2 and let's put the division X down. Okay. So we're just changing the topology. I know that's a little confusing what I just did, but and you don't actually have to do it. It's fine. But I was just making the resolution of it a bit lower. Let's hit mirror so that we can see them both in their glory. They look great. I'm not going to validate them yet. So this is going to be the horn, mirror, horns, and then we have the arms. So this tube, let's call this arms. And we don't have to mirror it yet. You can hit mirror and then later we can take it out of the mirror. Sometimes it's easier to just work on one side instead of working on the mirrors. So we'll just do arms. Okay, let's save. I've been neglecting the saves. You have to save very, very often. It's very, very important. Okay, so I'm just taking a look at the, his shape, seeing what I think. I think I want this to be a little bit more round here. Whoops. Okay, maybe a little puffier there, maybe a little puffier here. I think that works. Looks great. Might as well just save again. I gotta get in the habit. Sometimes I go so long without saving. Don't do that. Trust me, don't do it. I wonder if I can get this done in an hour. That'd be cool. Okay, hands. So I'm gonna actually bring this out of the mirror. So I'm just gonna drag it out, and the horn I'm gonna drag out. Actually, the horn I can leave. That's fine. Let's go ahead and validate that. Yes. So now we have the horns. Good. The arms, or the arms, apparently. These look good. The hands, the hands are a little bit like sort of pointed backwards, but I don't think we have to do it. I think it's fine. Let's go ahead and validate, and let's do these fingers. So these are kind of like little sausage fingers. So here's how we're going to make them. Let's add a sphere. Oops. Okay, let's move it up. Let's just hit solo. So down here, let's hit solo. So now we're only looking at the finger. So what we want to do is stretch this to make it like a pill almost. So we're going to hit validate. We'll go to our, let's see, where will we go? If I can remember how to do it. I think we want to turn symmetry on. Go to vertex, vertex. And okay, so for symmetry, right now we're on X. So I have to move it this way in order to make the pill, like that. If I used a different one, like Y, then I could do it this way. Just kidding. I would have to go local, and then I could probably do it. Yeah. Sorry, that gets a little confusing. So I'm just going to go back to X. So just forget forget the Y thing. So we'll just go back to X, use the red thing right here, and just pull it out. That'll be the sausage finger, or one of them. I think that's good. I think that should work. So this is going to be finger. I'm just going to put fin. And let's go to this little thingy here, go to voxel, and let's just voxel remesh it at like 145 or so. Remesh. So the reason I do that is because, you know how the way that we made it, you kind of just have to remesh it, or else it might start acting funny. I wish I had a better explanation, but I don't. Let's hit solo again. Let's hit gizmo. Let's move this. Whoops. Let's turn symmetry off. Let's go back to auto. Now we should be good. Let's move this down. Oh, you know what? We could have actually used the tube tool. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm just rotating. But you know what? Since we're here using this will be fine. But yeah, tube tool would have been a good option as well. So now we're just going to use move. I don't think we need symmetry. Let's go to symmetry and let's go to local. Okay, so now you can see, let's go back to symmetry and put show line. So now you can see what is actually symmetrical. So I think I might want to change that to, yeah, let's change it to Z and turn X off. This way, if I do something here, it's going to happen on the other side. So it won't be wonky. It's perfect. So we can just kind of manipulate this until we get a nice curve. Okay. Oh, something's a little off here, right? Something's a little off. I'm not exactly sure what that is, what that's all about, but it looks decent. Let's see what happens when we smooth it. It looks decent. I just heard the cat. I don't trust the cat. She likes to eat and then she'll scratch the couch and drive me absolutely bonkers. If there's one thing I don't tolerate, it's animals scratching my couch. Flip my lid. Okay, so this looks pretty good. I just want to rotate it more. I feel like I might have... I want to see... I probably can't use inflate on this yet. No, that's okay. This is fine. I just don't know why it looks so weird. So let's do pivot, auto pivot. Let's clone. And let's make another finger here. So just kind of maneuver it until it's in position. That looks good. Let's take a look at the front view. And give yourself some grace. This is going to take a long time. These little kind of positional things, they always take a long time. They always take forever, unfortunately. Okay, we'll take this and clone it. Okay, let's take a look at the front. It's not terrible. Oh, whoops. Let's clone this and make the thumb. Thumbs are a little tricky to get them to look right. And actually, I guess that's fine. I don't want to think too much about the anatomy of thumbs for this little character. The only thing is I think I might want the fingers, these 3 fingers. So which one's the thumb? Okay, so this one's the thumb. Okay, so these 3, I might want to rotate and be a little bit more on the front view. Yeah, so let's look at the front. I think I like that. And maybe we'll even rotate them. I kind of want to rotate them down, so here's what I'll do. I'll hit pivot. I'll rotate the pivot, hit pivot again, and then I can adjust them and maybe make them point down to the ground a bit more. I think I like that. Let's go to the thumb. I feel like it should be a little bit smaller for some reason. And also I'm going to move it and rotate just a little bit, like so. I think that looks pretty good. Let's do move. And for the thumb, I think I just want to drag it up for some reason. Okay. Oh, I like it. I like it. These are actually going to be gloves, I guess. Or somewhat. I don't know how I'm going to do the gloves yet. This definitely isn't going to be under an hour, but that's okay. I don't think, hopefully no one's going to be upset. Okay, so one thing I'm noticing is the body I think can be a little wider. I think the body needs to be a little bit wider. And now let's actually do some, what's it called? Hierarchy. Let's do hierarchy. So the body, so here's the body, here's the arms. Oh, here's the mirror too. Ooh, let's bring the mirror down underneath the body. Let's bring the arms down underneath the mirror. And now let's take, oh, where's the arm? Let's take the fingers and let's put them underneath the arm, but nestle them under the arm. So we'll just long press and bring down until they're nestled underneath this arm. Perfect. Even the thumb. It's great. Okay, so now this arm, so I can take the arm and I can move it and everything will move with it. So I'll use the gizmo. I'm going to use a line to just move it straight over this way. That looks good. So now another thing about the arm is I feel as though on the drawing, it's a little more round here. So I'm just going to adjust this so that it's a little more round going up. Okay, I'll move that back. That's fine. He doesn't have shoulders, but that's fine. Let's just take a look and see how we're doing. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what it looks like. I can probably move it over a smidge. But I think that looks pretty good. Okay, so let's use a sphere for the kind of pelvic area. Try to hurry the rest of this along a little bit. Not too much, but let's shrink it. I think that should be good. I'm going to go ahead and validate. And then I'll use move to kind of make the little, to kind of push this up. So it's sort of where his little legs would come from. Okay, let's use gizmo and let's move it up so that it's kind of aligning with the rest of his body. That looks great. And you can make any little adjustments you need. Oh, the baby. I see the baby rolling around. I might have to run. Oh, I don't remember what time I fed her. So I fed her. Oh, I must have fed her. Oh, it looks like she stopped. Okay. Okay, so chest, all of this stuff, except for the floor, I want to move up. He needs more room for his little legs. I don't want them that long. Oh, and you know what else? The arm. I'm just looking at the proportions now. This chest needs to be bigger, I think. Right? Unless something got moved. The chest needs to be bigger. That looks nice. Okay, so what do we want to do for the legs? Let's use cylinders. Gizmo. So we'll just use cylinder. We'll use them for the thighs. Oop, it looks like it's in a mirror. I didn't mean to do that. So I'm just gonna drag it up, or we'll drag it down. And let's label it thigh. Okay, we'll make it a little bit bigger and stretch it. Oh, I should probably use the tube tool for this, huh? That's okay. Let's make it a little bit smaller. Let's tap the 3 dots, post subdivision to 2, and then we'll bring division X down. I do it kind of fast because once you do it a few times, you kind of just know how to do it. It kind of just like rounds it out a bit. So I think that'll be good for the, let's mirror this. Looks good. Let's add a sphere for the kneecaps. And it's okay that it's under this. Let's just call this legs. So this whole mirror is going to be called legs. We have the thighs, and these are going to be the knees. Okay, we'll make them smaller, and then we'll move them to their respective sides. We'll move them towards the front, and we'll just make them a little bit flat, like so. Let's take these, and let's clone them, and let's call these calves. Let's move them back. We can go ahead and validate them. But I'm going to use the move tool and give them a nice bend back. And then I'm going to take smooth, and I want to smooth them out up here. See that? And I'm just going to connect them. I'm just going to use move and just kind of connect everything. You can move them up a little bit. I'm going to validate the thighs, and then I'm going to take smooth, and I want the bottoms to be a little bit smaller, so I'm just going to smooth them out. I'm going to use smooth to actually sculpt. That's really what I'm doing. Okay, that looks good. And remember the hierarchy. So let's hierarchy the calf and the knee to the thigh. So I'm just going to nestle them like this. Thighs, knee, calf. So now I can take the thigh and I can move it. But what I want to do is actually move the pivot point of the thigh up to here. Otherwise, if I rotate it, it's rotating there and that looks silly. So pivot, we'll move this up. Pivot. So now it's at a better position. So I'm going to move this forward. Oops, I think I undid it by accident. Okay, that looks good. Looks great. So now I'll take move, and I'm going to turn symmetry off for the thigh, and I'm just going to adjust these to kind of bring them in to make everything look nice. Okay, we'll make them a little bit bigger back here. Should we give them some buns? What do you think? We might be able to. Let's just do it this way. Let's just do it the tasteful way. We don't have to give them too big of buns. It's fun to do that sometimes, but I've already taken up so much of your time. We can keep things together. Whoop! I forgot. If I want to just do the knees, I can go to here and go to object, and then just do the knees. So I'm just kind of positioning them so that they look like they make sense. Yeah, there you go. That looks pretty good. Okay. All right, so let's make the calves. I can probably go back to auto. There's nothing nestled underneath the calves, so it should just affect the calves. But they're kind of big. They're small in the artwork, so I'm just going to try to be true to that and make them a little smaller. Let's see, what do I think? Should I bring the body down some? I feel like I should bring the chest. What is this? Not that. The arms and like all this stuff on top. I feel like we should bring that down. Did I bring down the cylinder? Oh, the cylinder is the waist. So I want to do the cylinder as well. I think I just want to bring it. Oh no, maybe not the cylinder. Yeah, maybe not the cylinder. We just bring all this down. And these little muscles, we can just kind of give them the boot a little bit. Just make them work how we need. Perfect. And even this thing, let's just let's go ahead and validate this. This cylinder, let's bring it to right underneath the chest. And let's call this waist. Let's make sure we're saving. And now we can probably just smooth this out to kind of have it go away and just be what we need. Perfect. Everything is looking good. These are looking good. All right. Yeah, I think everything looks good. This is not really matching too much. It just needs to come up a little bit, I think. The thighs are a bit different. Okay, so I'm going to make them smaller, I think. I'm going to move them closer together, and I'm going to rotate them like this so that they're more straight here. So now I have to take the knee, I'm going to rotate that out and move it over. And I'm actually going to rotate him this way. And I think that's it. I think that's good. I want to take the thighs and I want to rotate them forward. Okay, I want to take this and shrink it. And the reason I'm doing all this is because, like I was saying, I want to think about the actual shape of the back. So I kind of want it to be like an S. I like that. Yeah, so I do like this. I think I want to smooth out the. Do I want to smooth out the bottom, or do I just want to? Let's just take move for this calf and bring them down to the floor. I think that's what I want to do. Maybe I'll smooth the bottoms out a little bit so they're a little smaller. Oh, they look whack from the back. We can make them a little wider here. Oops. I'm going to take drag and just, yeah, I want them to be kind of come in a little bit there. That looks better. That looks nice. So he does have a cuff at the bottom, but that's easy. Let's just use a cylinder. Let's shrink it and then move it over. And this is going to be like the cuff for the pants. Let's make it a little bit bigger, move it forward. So now we just have to make sure it makes sense with the pants. Okay, we'll stretch it this way a bit, maybe a little bit bigger, a little bit flatter, and I'm going to move it up. So I'm going to undo, and I'm going to, let's check out let's make it flatter, number one. And you know what? I think that's actually good. I'm going to validate, and anything else I need to do, I can just use the move tool. But let's take smooth and smooth this out. And then I can use the move tool if I need to and just kind of move that part up. since he's going to have some shoes coming out or whatever. Okay, good. So these are the cuffs, calves. Let's make sure we're doing a save. The further we get, the more I just start saving like crazy. So for the let's add a sphere, and let's take this out. This is going to be the shoes. So let's rename that shoes. And let's move it up. Let's shrink it. Make it flat. We'll move it over. So I'm not sure if I want to do, so the drawing is interesting. If I'm going to match the drawing, it's probably something like this with like a smaller section first. Let's rotate it because the drawing is kind of rotated so the feet are kind of sticking out. So they're like more aligned with the knees. So let's do that, number one. Let's clone and let's take it off of a line and just move it forward. And I think something like this, if I make this bigger, that might resemble the shoes. I think that actually does. I can probably make it a little smaller. But I think that actually works. So I'm going to go ahead and validate it. Let's take these shoes and let's add a mirror. Let's call the mirror shoes as well. Now let's take these and just add them to that mirror so that we can see them on both sides. It's looking kind of crazy. I think I want to stretch it a little bit maybe. I think this part just needs to be higher up, I think. Just some old-fashioned sculpting. Let's take this one, and I think I just need to make it smaller or something. Let's validate. All right, let's take a look. It's pretty good. I mean, I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest with you. Okay, so you know what? Let's just go ahead and take these shoes and let's take these two. So not the mirror, let's take both of these shoes and let's just voxel remesh them. I'm going to use the shortcut down here. It's the same thing as going here, voxel and adjusting. I just like to use the shortcut. I'm going to do 150. And then I'm just going to smooth this out. Okay, and I'm going to do trim. So I want to do, wait, how do I want to do this? How do I want to do this? Okay, this is going to get a little weird. Let's use select mask. Let's use X-ray. Turn X-ray on. And let's use select mask. So let's switch to a rectangle. And then let's draw a rectangle. So the rectangle is right above where that floor is. So kind of like right there. Now let's take Gizmo and let's move this down. Perfect. So now let's go back to the select mask and do clear all. Let's go back to trim, or let's go to trim, rectangle. So now let's trim the bottom of this. And let's voxel remesh that at 150 again. So next, let us do split, rectangle. So split is a little bit different because it doesn't delete one part of it. So we're just going to split like this. Okay, so now we have two parts. Let's go ahead and voxel remesh this at 150. And let's see if we can tap on the other piece. Shoe split. So let's go to shoe split. Let's voxel remesh that one also at 150. The reason why I'm doing that is to solidify those parts. Otherwise, they might look a little funny. So I think everything except for the floor. You know what? Let's just do it easier and let's just take the floor and move it down a little bit to maybe around there. So now what you want to do is just take your your cylinder and things like that and just adjust it to what we have now. So what I mean by that is I'm going to make it so that this cuff is going over the shoe. I kind of want to take the shoe and flatten it a bit and move it down. And I'm going to take smooth and just kind of smooth it. I think that might be cleaner. Now I want to take the sole and smooth it. And for the sole, I think I want to make it bigger. And then maybe shrink it this way. Just so it's like a nice flat sole. That's kind of what I'm going for. Kind of like that clown foot type thing. So that looks nice. So now we can just take the cuffs, and you want to make it look like it's laying on top of the shoe. And you want this bottom, you want this to be touching the floor. See that? Like you want to make sure that it's touching the floor. It's kind of difficult to kind of work on the inside there, but it's imperative that you do. Or else everything will look weird. And I want them to be even too. So if I drag that part down, I need to drag the top part down as well. So that looks good. That feels right. Yeah, that feels right. So the only other thing that I might do is you can either do maybe clay. You can do clay and you can add some clay here. See how just like adding that little bit of clay gives it a whole new vibe? You can also take pinch and you can maybe go in the top of the cuff. And if you use pinch, then you can pinch it and get a nice looking edge. It really makes, these are the things that really make it look nice and neat and cool. Beautiful. I love it. I love it. Okay, so let's take this is the pelvic kind of area thingy. Yeah, it is. Let's move it out. Part of me wants to put a cylinder there because I can do it later, actually. Okay, so let's make sure that all of these things are lined up to like the pelvis, like the leg. I just want to make sure that it's all lined up. If I'm looking at the front, that looks good. The butt looks good. Everything looks nice. So I want to take this part of the legs and join them together with the pelvis. So where are the legs? Let's bring this down. The legs all look pretty good. Okay, so thighs. So this can be a little complicated, but I like to see how this is 482. This is 6,000. I don't like when it's that much of a disparity. So I'm going to go up here and even multi-res and just subdivide it. And here, multi-res, subdivide it. Okay, now I'm just going to take these legs and validate, and I'm going to join children. So now we have the legs. This is the pelvic, so I'm going to take these and join them. So now we have the legs. I'm going to do a quick save. And then I'm going to voxel remesh them, probably around like 200. And then I'm just going to smooth. So voxel remeshing, what we've just did is make them one singular piece. And we're just smoothing them together. Beautiful. Oh, looks like we did the cuffs as well. I actually didn't want to do the cuffs, but it actually looks fine, so I think I'll just keep it. So the only part that that I need to pay attention to now is, so these are like pants. If we look at X-ray, so these are pants. So what we want to do is, let's take trim. Wait, do I want to do trim or do I want to just try to move it? Maybe I'll just try to move this down. And maybe just take move and try to spread it out a little bit. Oops. Let's see what this looks like. Okay, that looks okay. So this muscle, I'm just going to smooth to kind of make it go back a little bit. And if it doesn't, I'll just force it to go back with the move tool. It's fine. The reason why I'm doing that is I want this. I might have to use, what can I use? I might have to use clay. Let's turn symmetry on. I might have to use clay and just kind of like make it so it's more of pants. Just so there's some sort of like, I don't know, just like some sort of thing where it looks like pants. The muscles are fine because you can always just kind of move those in more and like smooth them so that they'll look like they're going into the pants. Okay, I like that. And we can even take the pants and actually make them a little low rise. And then we can kind of, we can adjust the, we can make a split down there. So it's kind of like actually this muscle is like really huge. Let's shrink this up a little bit. We'll move it up. And let's clone and move it down. And maybe a little bit more together and stretched. And just a little bit smaller. And then we'll take move and just kind of, and we'll just kind of make it nice and seamless. Like so. And if we need a little bit more space, you can just go here and just move that part in. So that way it's a little more seamless. All right, let's go ahead and save. Looks great. Now, what do I want to do with, I think I want to make, I'm trying to think of the easiest way to make the glove. I think the easiest way to do it, I don't think that'll be difficult, honestly. Let's take the arm. So we have the arm and the fingers. Let's see. The arm and the fingers. How do we want to do it? How do I want to do this? I'm thinking about merging them all together. And then just making like, and then trimming one and making it small. Oh, I can maybe trim. I think it's tricky with fingers and stuff though. It gets a little bit tricky. Okay, I have an idea. So I'm going to clone all of these and just hide them for now. Now I'm going to take the arm and the fingers and I'm going to do a quick save. I'm going to voxel remesh them together at like 250. This happened because the arm was a very low resolution. That's like kind of like what I was talking about. Let's see, the arm. Oh, maybe it wasn't. Oh, it is. It's much smaller than these things, but that's okay. So if I go here and do multi-res, and subdivide it. That should be less annoying looking. 250. A little bit less. Okay, so we'll just smooth all this. These are the fingers and everything. Looks good. We'll smooth out that hand. That looks great. So now, let's see. We could use split. Let's use split. And we need to make their gloves. So I'm just trying to think this through. So I think if I just go like this, it's going to split them. So now both parts, I'm going to voxel remesh around 200. And I'm going to smooth. This arm, I'm going to, you know what, I'll just leave the arm for now. That's fine. So now this is going to be the glove. So I think I'll just make this bigger. Okay. And now we still have to mess with the fingers. I could just use split again. I think I'm going to trim. I'll turn symmetry off. And I think I'm just going to use lasso and split these, or trim them. Okay, so now that's trimmed. This, I'm going to voxel remesh back up to 200 and smooth. Oh, I forgot the thumb. So I'm going to undo actually. Trim the thumb as well. And then I'm going to voxel remesh back up to, back up to 200. Again, I'm doing this to make sure that the integrity of these parts, make sure they don't get too low resolution or anything like that. Okay, and now I'm going to go and bring these back. What is this? Oh, this is the glove. So this is the glove. This has become the arm. And these fingers are going to be coming out of the glove. So I'm going to move these fingers. I don't think I need the other arm, so I'm going to delete that. Oh. Okay, so now we have all these fingers. They look like they're actually in a decent position. So the only thing I want to do is go back to the glove. And maybe I can just adjust it. Does get a little tricky. So you know what? I'm just going to make this a little bit smaller because it does get a bit tricky. Let's turn symmetry off. Because there's not that much space in between. And I might just be able to smooth. Oh. It's weird when I smooth it, it gets bigger. That's strange. I can just make it smaller. Okay, nice. Oh, forgot the thumb. Okay, that looks good. Maybe this needs to come out a little bit more here. Okay, nice. So we have the glove and we have the fingers. We have the arm. Now we need to merge the arm. So let's just take this and validate it. So this is going to be the arms. So we have the body. Do we like the body? I think we like the body. I think the body's good. The only weird thing is, I guess it doesn't need to be that anatomically correct. Part of me wants to like push that in and like make those thingies here, but I don't think he needs it. I think I'm just getting too ahead of myself. Okay. Okay, so for the head, I think I'm gonna maybe leave it separate and just do inflate and just make a nice, like, I don't know. Let's use crease. Let's do a crease here maybe. Just kind of make it a little bit fun. Like you don't know what kind of creature is behind this mask. I kind of like it. I do want them to be connected though. I kind of do. Oh, my back. Oh, my poor back. Oh. Oh. Okay, I really got to get going on this guy. All right, so let's see, what's the easiest way to make this little yellow thing? I have not been talking in the mic. I apologize. Let's see. I think the easiest thing to do is a tube tool. I think a tube is the way to go. So we're going to do a small tube up here. We'll do path. Let's go ahead and mirror it. Turn snap off. Okay, so a little bit of a curve there. Okay, I can turn all these radii on, and let's just make this, let's just make it make sense. So this part is sharp. This part might be a little bit wider. This is a little bit wider. This part, I mean, it is sharp kind of because it does come to a point. But here would be wide too. That doesn't make sense. Let's just leave it like this and then bring it together. That's what the smart person would do. So now let's hit profile. Okay, we got them square, which is nice. We have to get them flatter. Oh, I think that might be what we need. No, I don't think it is. How can we get this flatter? Come on. There we go. I think that's what we need. Okay, something like that. It's a little tilted so we can twist it so that they're kind of like together like this. It's perfect. That looks pretty good, if I'm being honest. That looks nice. There's a bit of a curve here. I don't like that. I don't like this piece. There we go. Okay, so at least now it's together. That looks good. Maybe we can just take Gizmo, do a line, and just stretch. Yeah, I think that works. Okay, so what I want to do is validate. And I'm going to take this and validate, join children, and I'm going to voxel remesh this. Or should I just leave it? I do view, and it looks good, but mask, Sharpie. I like it. I'm just torn whether I want to voxel remesh it. It's going to make it so much bigger for such a small little piece, but it'll also make it look, look crazy. What happens if we turn smooth shading off? Oh, that's beautiful. That's fine. I'll take it. Okay, so we got that done. Now we just need to make these impressions. So let's take this mask and let's voxel remesh it to like 300. Let's do a quick save first, and then voxel remesh to like 300. Okay, that's going to make it very high resolution for the details that we need to put in this. So let's take select mask and, oh no, let's take regular mask. And let's make, maybe we should make the part for the mouth first. Let's make it a little bit smaller. Okay, I think that looks good. So we will invert gizmo, and we'll move this back, maybe even flatten it. Let's see how far back I can go. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. So now I'm going to go back to the mask and invert, clear, and I want to make these depressions for the eyes are. So I'm going to do the same thing, but for the eyes. So they come down really low. So maybe we'll start here. Okay, maybe something like that. You can kind of adjust it. You can do unmask and kind of fix it up if you want. I like the way that looks, so I'm going to hit invert gizmo, and I'm going to push this in. I'm going to flatten it. Can't really rotate it because, but maybe I'll make it thinner like this. Yeah. And I think I want to move it down. Let's make it shorter and then move it down. Okay, I think I like that. So we're going to go back to this invert or whatever, just clear it. That's fine. This is going to be an issue, unfortunately. I made it a little too low, a little too close. It's a bit annoying. Maybe we'll roll with it and just see what happens. I like that. I like the sharpness. I kind of want more of a sharpness, but we'll see if we can get that. Let's tap on this head here, and let's just take move and move the head back. This is the head that's behind the mask. And what we did is I pushed the mask back a little far, so we're seeing that head. So we'll just get rid of that. I want to do a quick save. Okay, so let's see. I want to take move, and this is just a little me thing. I think I want to just adjust the mouth a bit. Okay, let's voxel remesh this back up to 300. And let's see if we can smooth this without too much interference with each other. See how close that is? Ugh, I hate that. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. Okay, I need to go back and undo this, unfortunately. Mask, unmask. And maybe I'll just make it a little higher at the top, perhaps. Okay. And actually, I'm going to go back here and use move. And I want to make his mouth curve a little more down, I think. Okay. So back here, invert. Push these back. Okay. So now I can go to mask, clear. We got to do the same thing. This time I'm going to use clay. Actually, no, I'm just going to use move and push the head back. Remember we did that? Get that head out of here, down here as well. Perfect. And then I want to voxel remesh this at 300 and then just smooth out these, just smooth everything out. Okay, nice, 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 nice. Okay, let's add some eyes for spheres. And these are just going to go in the sockets. Let's mirror them. Okay, something like that, I think. Right? Okay, that looks kind of cool. The only problem is it's a little. I think that could work. I think I could work with that. I want to make sure that the eyes are kind of like at the right thingy. It's tricky trying to like get eyes to be exactly where you want them to be. I think I like that, honestly. I think I just might have to kind of adjust this, open it up a bit. I think I want to take flatten. I think I want to flatten this out here. Okay, just make sure symmetry's on. I like it. I'm gonna smooth it a little bit. Just keep everything nice and clean. I love it. I want to take pinch. Or maybe I should take crease. You can do crease and invert. and it's the coolest thing ever. See, now I can make... Oh, that would have been great if they would have come together. There we go. So it looks way more like a mask. I love it. I'm going to take pinch now and pinch this to get this nice and sharp. Could pinch here as well. Don't know if I want to yet. Okay, we'll pinch that there. Okay, so that looks good. Let's take the tube path. Wait, what is it asking me to validate here? Tube path, and I just want to make the eyebrows. So we just make a tube going across. I'm just going to add nodes to kind of make it going over. It's perfect. This is when snap was good because it helps it not go inside the clay. But now we can turn that off. We can do all the radii. And the drawing, it's thin here, thicker on the outside, so I might want to do that. Oh, you know what else I should do? That's fine. Let's make this smaller. Let's make this bigger. This bigger. This one's smaller. Maybe we'll add another one in there for good luck. And I want to make sure these are nice and smooth and buried into the crease. Beautiful. And this actually looks pretty good. I'm going to bury this in here, I think, for now. I think I need to... I might want to take the eye. I'm going to validate the eyes. I might want them to come out a bit more. Like that. Which means I can take this and move it a little bit more out. Oh, it kind of works. The only problem is the mask. I think I need to adjust the mask. So I'm going to use move, and I'm going to push this. Push that in there. Had to be done. Okay, and what else I like to do profile. That makes that look so nice. And I'm just going to, see it's 3000, it doesn't need to be, so I'm going to turn the division X down a bit. So now it's 450, and we're going to go with that. I'm going to mirror it, validate, boom, looks great. And I can take drag if I really want to. I can take drag and probably make it a little more true to the art with something like that. Maybe smooth it a little bit. Beautiful. You can always move the mask if you need to. No one's gonna know. I think I like it. I think I like it. I don't know. I don't know if I'm sold. I think I'm just happy for them to be here. Like that. I think I like it. Probably should have rotated them or something. But you know what? No. Let's take move on the mask and just move the mask up a bit. Yeah, that's better. We can actually do a little bit more moving. We can probably move this down so it makes more sense. I love the move tool. It's one of my favorite tools. There we go. Nice. We can smooth it out. Brilliant. Beautiful. Okay. So for these little thingies, okay, so we have, let's add a, so here's the mask. What is this? These are the, let's validate these. This is the eyelashes. Let's add a sphere. I'm going to mirror it. And these are going to be those little yellow eye dots. I always call them eye dots. Okay, so these are the eye dots. And what we're going to do is take this clone, and these are going to be the teeth. And let's clone, and this is going to be P1. So let's hide this, and let's go back to the eye dots. Validate. And I'm just going to use drag and kind of shape these how I want them. Looks like they're sharp at the bottom and round on top. And we'll just rotate. And I think that's actually pretty good. Nothing too fancy. Maybe if you want them flat, you can flatten the... You can flatten them just to give them a little flavor. Smooth them a little bit. Beautiful. Okay, so now let's open these up. What is this? This is the teeth. We'll bring this down. Flatten it out a bit. Uh-oh. The baby is stirring. All right, I'm back. A couple hours later. Let's go ahead and validate. And we'll use move to kind of just make them a little sharp. Okay, that looks pretty good. Make sure they're kind of aligned with the mouth. Okay, teeth are kind of nice and big, so I want to make sure. Okay. Let's just clone these. Oops. Make them flatter to kind of. I'm going to turn off symmetry so I can make these even flatter. Ah, that feels better. Okay, so I'm going to clone these teeth. Clone. So this is going to be the bottom. And what I want to do is just take this tooth. I'm going to do local and then flip on the y-axis. So local means flipping where the tooth is. So not the project, but locally the shape. And then flipping Y just means like top and bottom. So I just flipped it upside down in the same exact spot. Okay, that actually looks pretty good. Oh, I must have did it twice somehow. Yeah, I did it twice somehow. Oh, that's okay. I'll just make this the middle teeth. I'll turn symmetry off and I'll just adjust these. Okay. I like it. Let's do a quick save. Okay, so I want to do something cool with the eyes. So, let's try mask. So we're on the eye. And I want to try to make that design. Something like that. So we can go to, I think it's this little beaker. Let's see, where is it? Oh, there it is. So the settings for the mask, and this is exactly what I want. Something like that. So now we're just going to do extract. Okay, so now they're extracted. So I'm going to go to the eyes and clear the mask first. And then now we have these cool eyes that we can okay. It's pretty cool. I want to bend it so it kind of bends with the eye. So I'm just going to use the move tool and just kind of push it or pull it in the middle. And then just use the gizmo to kind of push it back. Check the positioning. Why did it get so weird like that? This part looks like it needs to be smoothed a bit. Oh, the shape looks pretty good though. I like it, but I'm having an issue with the shape of this. Ooh, I like it. Something still wants me to adjust and adjust and adjust. I think that's pretty good. Another thing I'm noticing is this is a bit sharper here, and this is a bit, I don't even know if I can explain it. On the body, I don't know if I messed it up or not. I think I just need to take the eye and maybe pull it out some. Yeah, I think that helped. I'm going to take move. Okay. Let's save. I'm just going to do what I would normally do. So for these gloves, you can see that they're 129K. So that's a lot. And we have to double it. We have to mirror it. So that's a lot. So firstly, I'm just going to use quad remesher. If you don't have quad remesher, you can use miscellaneous. You can use decimate. Just hit decimate until it, the resolution is a bit smaller. But for now, I'm going to use quad remesher. And I'm going to use symmetry. I think it's going to create another one. I'm not 100% sure. But let's go with half. Oh, it doesn't. It just makes it okay. Let me just make sure it's not. If I put world, what happens now? If I do half. Oh, interesting. Weird. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just not do symmetry. I'm just going to do half. And maybe I'll do half again. Okay, let's take a look at the fingers. I'm going to do half on the fingers too. Now I should be able to take glove and then just add a mirror. And everything should go to the other side. Perfect. Oh, these are the pupils? Oh, I didn't need those. So I can delete the pupils. Oh, it looks like I need to make the mask a bit wider. Right? But how does that affect the eyes? Ooh, okay, so let me pull the eyes a bit so that that still looks pretty good. Now this, maybe I'll just push this behind. Okay, I think I'm still okay with that. I like that a bit better. Let's hit a quick save. Alright, so the teeth. Oops. Usually for teeth, I just want to Boolean all of them together. Are they touching? No, they're not. I'm just going to validate this. Join children. Eye dots. Let's just validate this. Oh, here, these are the eyes and the pupils. So I'm gonna take out the pupils. I always call that P1. And then I'm gonna add a mirror itself. P1. And we can go ahead and validate that. This I'm just gonna call P2 for now, which is the eyes. Let me change this to P1. Okay, so this all looks great. I'm not sure what else I might need to do with this rascal. There's a few more details, maybe. Something is bugging me about these. Yeah, I think I like that a bit better. Maybe even take the mask and just pull the mask up here as well. I think I like that. So I better not have got a mosquito bite on my freaking foot. All of a sudden, my foot's on fire. And I'm trying to put in work. All right, I'm loving the way that this is looking. I like all of this. Maybe I do want to add some. Let's see if I want to add a sphere or maybe some sort of like shoulder type thing. Mirror it. Okay, I like that. We do need some sort of straps, I think, for the mask. So let's throw in some details. I kind of like that for the arms, even though, I don't know actually. I think I kind of like them. I just feel like they fit a little bit better. But maybe I can split the difference by not making them that big. I think that might help. I'm going to save that. Let's add a little strap type thingy to the... let's add a box. We'll make it small. This is when I wish Nomad had shrink wrap. In Blender, they have something called, shrink wrap, which is the kind of thing where you can sort of shrink something to the surface of something else. Let's make this rounder, so 3 dots, post subdivision to 2, and just bring the division X down. Go ahead and mirror it. We'll validate it. Now let's see if we can get it on the surface. Okay. Kind of like it. Like, it's simple, but I kind of like it. These are going to be... Wait, what are these? Oh, these are the shoulders. These are the glove straps. These are the gloves. Shoulders we can validate. Where are the arms? Okay, arms and shoulders. Arms are quite big as well, but let's do a quick save. Okay, body arms. What is this? This is the... Oh, this is the head. Mask shape, pivot, auto pivot. So the only other thing that I wanted to make sure that everything is right is this section. So the only thing that I might want to do is maybe clay and sub and just kind of push that back some. Feels a little bit more natural. Maybe even use drag. I think that just feels a bit more natural. And on the back, if we want to add some details, like, let's take it off of sub. And I think we need to voxel remesh this. I can't remember exactly how the muscles in the neck go. I think it's like something like this. So something like that. I know it looks crazy, but when you smooth it, you know, that's when things kind of look less crazy, but I think I might like it a bit round. Maybe just like a little bit of muscle. Maybe even a crease here. Looks kind of nice. I like it. Okay, so let's Vox remesh all of these things together. So body, arms, shoulders, chest, all those little riblets. Waist. What is waist? Waist. So all that looks great. Let's do a quick save before we do it. And all of these I'm going to voxel remesh together. Maybe we'll do it at like 400. Now they're all one piece. Not the head, right? Good. So now we can smooth this. Excuse me. Make it really soft and toy-like. Smooth everything out. I didn't really do a lot of details to this little section where the waist meets that muscle there. But I love it. I think it looks cool. Okay. So yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with all of these details. So we just need to add these little thingies here. And I don't know a good way to do it rather than these gloves. I don't know what the best way to validate. Keep instances, no. Alright, you know what we'll do? We'll just take all of these. We'll clone them. Add a mirror to them. Validate. And then we can join children. I think all of these we can just get rid of. So this is fingers. Gloves we can validate. Glove straps we can validate. We'll do a quick save. So now we have both arms, both fingers looking good. So now we can, let's find shoes. Oh, these are the soles. Make sure you label the soles. I'm going to take that out and add its own mirror. I always spell it wrong. Soles. And now we can validate these. We'll take these and validate the shoes, and then we have the shoes and the soles. Okay. So this is now, the waist is now the body. And we can add a sphere. And this will be the first one of the little rock thingies on his skin. Let's validate it. Let's use drag. And then we can just drag it. Maybe we want to, maybe we'll use crease and invert and like kind of make it like, I feel like it would just kind of be like that. How big is this? Let's take quad remesher and just half it. Little details like this, they don't need to be so prominent. I mean, we do lose that detail, but I think that's good. For 670, I'll take it. Okay, so this is going to be the rock stubble. We'll clone. Okay, and then we're just going to do a bunch of cloning, I think. I wonder if I should instance these. It's looking good. Looking good. I believe instance just takes one and it repeats it. So it's not actually, I believe it's not actually using the resources and size of like making a complete clone. But I'm not 100% sure. So we'll see. Trying to make some of them a little bit different. I don't want them all to be identical. But the thing is I can also just adjust them after I have them all on the skin surface. Okay, it looks pretty good. I need a couple more. And what's cool is I can just, where's the instance? I don't know where it was. Oh. instance, make a few more. I don't want them to look too uniform. Okay, so this is looking great. I think I just need some smaller ones. Let's see how it looks. Oh, it looks pretty good. Maybe one more. These look a little too similar. Okay, so I can drag. Oh no. I was wondering if that's what would happen. Oh well. So I think I can probably just take all of these, join them, and I don't think they should be instants anymore. No. So we're good. We're gilded. Oops. Okay, so that looks pretty good. We will add a mirror to it. Validate, and this will be rock stubble. So since I made all these, now I'm going to use clay, and I'm going to go through each one and just add a place where it's actually coming out of the skin. I love these little touches that you want to make sure you're always doing the little things. Nice. We'll hit a quick save. It's looking beautiful. I should take a photo for all the folks who I told that I might sculpt this. Okay, so I got the video, so I can tease it. What else? What else do we got here? I think we can just color it, really. Let's go ahead and let's make sure all the things that are together. So fingers, quad remesher, we can probably just go half on the fingers. Body upper, that's fine. Rock stubble. Legs, shoes. Let's go half on the shoes. So I do this just to kind of make the character a little bit more efficient. I mean, it's still pretty high resolution, but you know, it doesn't have to be crazy. You know, some things you can spare some size. 2000. I'm just checking. Oh, the mask is quite large. I don't think the mask probably has to be that large. I'll go halfies on the mask. Still looks great. The teeth, sometimes I like to boolean the teeth all together. Yeah, that way when I bring them into Blender, they're just like together. So that's good. I'm going to hit a quick save, and then let's switch from Matcap to Lit PBR. I'm going to fly through the coloring. I don't think people care too much about the coloring, to be honest. And first, I like to just change to one of my saved colors. I forgot to select everything. Why are you not painting all? What are we doing, bro? Oh, am I in? There we go. Okay, looks beautiful. I'm going to turn the environment off. And then I'm going to add a light. Actually, let's put post-process on first. This all looks good. So now I'll add my first light. I love adding the first light. I'm going to move it over here, and I'm going to call it key. We'll raise it up to 2. Make it nice and bright. And also I'm going to switch to camera in the attachment. Beautiful. So now we will clone this one, and I'm going to call this one edge. I'm going to move it over here and rotate it so we have that nice edge. There we go. Beautiful. I'm going to put this to 5, and I'm going to change the color to be a bit warmer. The key, you know what? I'm gonna raise this up a little bit. Maybe let's go with 3. Okay, so the edge, I'm gonna clone that one and make this one R2. So this is another light. I'm gonna put it to the other side and rotate it and give us kind of like another edge, but a little bit more. And then I'm going to change the color to blue. And I don't think we need anything from the top, but let's clone this one, and this will be D2. And this one, I think, can just be white. And you know what? I'm going to switch this to a, don't want to make a point light. just do something interesting with it. Oh, that's kind of nice too, actually. Maybe I should take this light and make this a little cool as well. So I'm liking the looks of that. I wonder if I can set, no, I can't set that to camera. To camera, that's okay. So now it looks beautiful. Oh, the only other thing that I wanted to do was like connect the fingers and the body. So I'll just join those. Oh, the head too. I'll leave the head for now. Horns are black. Mask Sharpie and the eye dots. The eye dots, I'm going to bring this size down. They're way too big for what it is. Mask Sharpie, eye dots, we can join those together. Mask ornaments. Okay, let's do a quick save. And you can, oh, I still don't know what I want to do with the head. I guess I can just leave it there like that. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. I wanted to put straps, some straps around the mask. I know this is like, it keeps going on and on, but I feel like that's just what happens. So I'm going to take it, I'm going to turn post-process off so I can work easier. Let's add first a box. I'm just going to go ahead and color it this color. This I kind of want to be maybe like a connector. Post subdivision up to 2, and we're going to bring this down so it's nice and round. Okay, I like that. I'm going to use move to kind of form it to the mask. And then I want to take a tube path, maybe from here to here. Okay, I mean, that looks decent. I think I kind of need, so this is going to be mask sides. I was thinking about cloning this and just moving that down here. See if I can adjust this. I think that works. So for this one, I'm going to add a mirror. We'll go back to the tube. We'll tap the little squiggle so we can get back to the tube editing. Let's turn snap off. Let's add another node here so we can get that where it needs to go. We'll do profile. And we want to make this nice and skinny. which is sometimes hard to do. Oh, there we go. I want to make this wider. So I need to figure that out. But I don't actually know which direction is wider. Is that making it wider? No, I feel like that's not the right one. So maybe it's this direction. There we go. Okay, so that's the direction. Whoops. How do I get out of here? There we go. Okay, so that looks a bit better. I still have to do some adjusting. And this is another reason why it's good to use a Mac cap. I put those lights on, so it's a bit difficult for me to actually see what's happening, but I'll make it work. Whoops. What I can do is probably go to environment and turn that on, and that should help. Okay. So this I want to drag here. And now it's just adjusting these so that they make sense. So everything looks good. You'll notice that this is not twisted the correct way. There's a few things. First, I'm going to hit radius 3 times so I can adjust all of these. And I'm also going to hit twist. And I'm going to hit twist 3 times. That way I can twist all of these points separately. So this is going to make way more sense if it's like this. And then maybe if I want, I can make this a little bit smaller. Whoops. Okay, this part. Actually, let's change the color of this. Let's make it a little easier to see. Oops. We'll do paint all. And then you can kind of, so what I want is it to look like it's on the skin. So it's a little tricky. This one I might have to twist a little bit more. This one I'll twist a little bit more. And also move this up away from the skin a bit. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. And I'm going to twist it. I'm going to move it a little further in. Okay, that looks pretty good. And it looks like everything is twisted nicely. So the only other thing I want to do, post subdivision up to 2, division X, we'll move that down a little bit so it's a little bit more round. And I'm going to mirror it so we have it on the other side as well. Oh, I don't like the size difference, so I might have to make this thicker. Okay, so of course you can adjust this into your blue on the face. I think it looks just fine. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and save. I'm going to go ahead and validate these. So now we just have these, which I'm also going to validate. And this is going to be mask straps. Okay, these are the mask sides, so we'll just validate these. Mask, strap. Let's call this mask buckles. What is this? Oh, that's the top one, okay. And those are the side ones, so I'm going to select both of these and just join them. And I think maybe we'll make them a little bit darker. Or maybe a little lighter. Okay, so let me turn my AC down a little bit. So I do apologize if it's a little bit harder to hear. It's hot, bro. I'm dying in here. Okay, how are these doing? These are the horns. I wanted the tip to be a little bit more round, so I'm just going to smooth that out. Beautiful. Okay, here's the head, which I still don't know what I want to do with it, but I know that since I have these horns, I want to add some. I'm going to voxel remesh it around 170. And then I'm going to add with clay these little so it'll feel like this is where the horn is coming from. And then I'll just smooth it out. Smooth all that out as well. Beautiful. Looks nice. So now I think I can put back on, where is it? Post-process. That looks beautiful. I love that. So I'm going to save this. So let's just save. I like it where it is. And then I'm also going to do save as, new. Okay, actually I'm going to rename this one Rocky Back Color. I think that's what I named them on my computer. I can't remember. So I like having, so if you hit open, you have both of these. So the color one is the one that I'm going to continue to move forward with, and color. Oh, and actually I noticed on the body, I want this to be a bit more smooth here on the chest. Smooth that out. Okay, let's save as new. Okay, so I just resaved that with the new one, and now I'm going to open up the color one. Okay, so mask is red. So you just go to this little cube, choose your color. I think I like that. I think I like a more realistic red. So we'll paint that. The body, I think I want to do layers. So let's tap the layer option here, add a layer. So we'll have the base. Oops. I guess we can, Let's do layer 1 will be the base color. And that is going to be, I guess I could technically just take this color, right? And paint, and that's pretty spot on. But I think I want it to be a little bit more, I think that works. These little rocky things, they're going to be a little more yellow. So maybe something like that. Maybe I'll take a little roughness off of them. Something like that. This is going to be black. But of course, we're going to add a little bit of gray to it. Nice and rough for these gloves. And this is going to be maybe a little darker. Or maybe a little lighter. I like the lighter color. So we'll do that. The pants, I think, are the same color as the gloves. Maybe they're a little darker. I'm not sure. So we'll paint those. The shoes are going to be a bit darker. We'll take some of the roughness off of the shoes. And then the soles, I think, are going to be more black and more rough. Oh, I love it. I love it. Ah, man, I love sculpting things in 3D. I really do. All right, these are yellow. I like that yellow. Let's make them glossy. The pupils are going to be black. We'll turn the roughness all the way up. Teefies are going to be, I don't know if I want them white or a little bit off-white. Can make them nice and shiny. Paint all. This is black. We'll turn the roughness up on that. And I'm going to tap the eyedropper and get this yellow color for the eye dots and the ornament. Beautiful. And here's a little quick tip. If I want to make this glow, I'll just take this, clone it, so I have two mask ornaments. Oh, it didn't add, oh, maybe it did add a one, I just can't see it. Mask ornaments, glow. And what I'll do is go to, where do I want to go? The materials, change it to additive, always unlit. And you can adjust the opacity like so. All right, let's turn down the environment a little bit. Actually, it looks better with the environment up brighter. I love it. Let's recheck all of the things here. Everything looks pretty good. That looks perfect. Oh, you know what I forgot though? So we need to do paint. Let's add another layer. Add layer. This is going to be lighter. Okay, we'll tap the eyedropper. We'll grab this color. And then we want to make it really light. So maybe something like that. So we're using paint. We want to make sure symmetry is on. That's what it's going to look like. That looks so good. And it looks like it's going up the abs. Pretty much coloring this whole thing in. And then it's coming around here. We can make it a little bit bigger. Like so. Beautiful. Oh, forgot these. These are going to be black. And maybe we'll make them a little bit more glossy. Nice. Oh, I didn't do the head, did I? Let's grab the color of this and make the head that same color. Okay, what else? What else? What else? So, other little details that I want to do. Let's turn post-process off. So on the mask, I want to make a new layer. This is going to be darker. Oops. So I'm going to grab the mask color, go a bit darker, and then make sure I'm painting inside these eyes. Make sure that symmetry is on. So I want to be painting inside these eyes. Let's erase a little bit down here. And then I want to use smooth 2 or smoothie. So all I did was take smooth and turn the intensity all the way down. So what you want to do is tap here, hit clone, and then it's going to show up down here. Go down here, turn the intensity all the way down, and then tap on it again, and then just hit save. And then it'll be saved. So what I like to do with that brush is you can smooth just the color. It's working decently. It works better if the object is at a lower resolution. This is kind of a high resolution, but it's still working okay. But the great thing is you can go into that layer and you can adjust how dark it is. Okay, so we'll add some darkness there. We'll go around the edges on the back a little bit. Okay, and we'll just smooth those out as well. Okay, so let's make another darker, or in mouth. And let's just make this really dark. Turn the roughness up so there's nothing shining inside the mouth. We just want it to be dark in there. Okay, beautiful. Maybe I'll even use smoothie and just kind of smooth the edges. I like it. I think it looks great. I want to experiment a little bit here with pinch. If I pinch here, I wonder what that will do for me. What do we think? It helps the shadow, but I don't know if I'm sold on it. I kind of like it though. So you know what? I'm going to save it. I'm going to keep it. Gloves. Let's see, do I want to do like clay or something around the edges? Oh, did symmetry not work? Let's take a look at the gloves. Let's do pivot, auto, pivot. Let's take a look at the symmetry. We're still in world. Let's change this to X. So we're changing that to X. So now clay should work on both sides. And I think it might be cool to just go around the edges of the gloves a little bit. Just add a little detail. And also I want to, let's go back to the body. We can add another layer, and this is going to be darker. We can grab, I'm going to grab this color. I'm going to make it a little bit darker. Paint. We'll paint a little here. We'll paint a little under here. A little down the middle. Looks good, looks good. Maybe a little here. Maybe a little where the mask is. Let's try smoothie. Let's just see how we do. Oh, that smooth's great. Oh yeah, I love it. Let's take paint and let's paint in here a little bit. And we'll just smooth that out. So this is just giving it a little bit of ambient occlusion. Manual ambient occlusion. That's what I like to call it. Okay, that looks good. And now we'll go back here. Actually, I can do a little bit more of that. If I'm being honest, I should do around the glove. Probably around the fingers. And you don't have to go through all this detail, but I'm a sucker for lots of details. Especially when you get to this point, when you work on something for so long, just like go for it, you know? That looks great. Excuse me. I think I just woke the baby up. You'll probably hear her soon. Add a little bit here to these. Maybe I'll go a little bit darker. Whoop. And then just smooth it out a little bit. There's always so much extra things I want to do. Oh, you know what I didn't do though? On the body, I didn't lower this darker. So I wanted to lower that somewhat. Because I think 100% is just too dark. So we'll leave it to about there. I want to go back to lighter. I want to grab this lighter color. And I would like to, let me get rid of this floor. On these fingers, I just like to, whoops, wrong tool, meant paint tool. Oh, that's not going to work. Maybe I'll just smooth it. I wanted the underside to be a bit lighter. So I would like it. I think I would prefer it if it was clean, but I'm not going to go through the hassle. I don't mind it if it's kind of shaded a bit lighter. I'm okay with that. The only other slight detail for the body, which I'm going to add another layer and do reddish. So when I was drawing it, I did put a, let's grab this color. I put a little bit of a red hue on top, almost like a sunburn or something. Like there. So we'll just take paint. And let's see. Let's add a little bit here. And maybe around here. Maybe a little bit down the back. It's kind of interesting. Okay, so we'll take smoothie and we'll smooth this. Hopefully it smooths decently. Oh, it doesn't really, unfortunately. So when that happens, if it doesn't smooth the way that I want it to, I'll take smudge. And this is kind of a bootleg way to kind of get a gradient, but it's better than nothing. So I'm just kind of smudging the paint until it blends a little bit better. Okay, so we have a nice blend here. So we have a nice blend, and then I'll take here and just lower this a bit. So it has that little reddish hue. Again, minor detail, but I'm all about those details. Okay, it's post-process. Put post-process back on. Everything is looking beautiful. So here is the final next to the drawing, which I love. I think it looks so good. Okay, so let's put this back in the front about here. I want to save this view, so I'm going to tap here, add view, and we'll just rename this 1. We'll do a quick save. And actually, I want to take off the reference image, so I'm going to uncheck that, and then I'll go here, and let's just add this view. Let's call it 1A. So now we have both. So now we have that view, and I love it. I like it. I'm happy with it. Let's save. Let's export an image. So I'm going to go to the little folder, go down to render. I want to do a transparent background, screen, and export PNG. And it's going to export 350 frames. This correlates to what I have set on the top of the post-process menu. You can change the samples. So that's what this number is. So the higher, the better. 350 is kind of like a midway point. Looks fine to me. So I'm just going to save this to my iPad. Okay, and maybe let's do the side view. Let's check the other side. Oh no, I like this side better. Okay, we'll do the side view as well. I'm on thin ice, making all this noise. So we'll save this image. We're done. And now, what else did I want to do? Oh, let's go back to 1A. We'll tap the little Nomad sign. So here's the turntable options. I'm going to record this. And then I'm just going to, I have it on scene. And I'll just do turntable. And then we have our nice turntable. Beautiful. All right, I think that's about it. This video and all my videos are brought to you by Skillshare. That's why I make a living. That's how I make all my money. So I have some really great beginner tutorials, step by step, just more in-depth tutorials. So if you want to learn more, check me out on Skillshare. And here's my little Skillshare promo. Keep drawing, keep sculpting. I'll see you all in the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. Be sure to like and subscribe. And if you want to go more in depth, then definitely check out my Skillshare classes where I am a top teacher. I have about 50 classes, both Procreate and Nomad Sculpt. I also have a few classes on Udemy, so if you want to learn more, or you just like my style, you like the way I teach, you want to support me, those are some other places that you can do it. Thanks again, keep drawing, keep sculpting. I'll see you all in the next video. All that she wants is another baby. She's gonna want all that she wants. Here's another baby, yeah. All that she wants is another baby. She's gone tomorrow. All she wants is another baby, yeah.